Here it is. This is from Alex Tissot. What does Billy make of the resurgence in interest in what we are seeing now with the UFOs and UAPs?
Oh, yeah. Huge question, huge topic right now, obviously, with the Pentagon coming forward, people testifying before Congress. Even right now, you see active military people be able to make a statement as to what's going on out there versus before, just 10 years ago, it was only veterans that can make a statement. Mm-hmm. And so what you see right now is this resurgence of this new UFO, now UAP information. But I think it's an issue to control the narrative. It's their agenda. They want to control what's going on, what the people actually hear, what they see, what they understand about the UFOs and now UAPs. And one of the main reasons why, I think it all has to do with money. You see, I believe that there are UFOs visiting Earth from outside of this planet. The ancient tablets talk about this over eons. However, right now, all of a sudden, it's becoming common knowledge and openly stated as if just matter-of-factly by the U.S. government. Why is that? Well, we now have the Space Force. And why do we have the Space Force? Well, we have the Space Force because we have to find a way to make more money. All the wars have been fought. Who are we going to go invade? Who are we going to bring democracy to now? We've literally invaded almost every continent on the planet. We've done our thing. And now the next big rush for super wealth is space. So you have to now control this UAP narrative, and you have to now say, hey, these things pose a potential threat to our national security, global security. We know that they've shown up at missile silos, and they've shown up at these flights where they have the nuclear missiles, and they've deactivated the nuclear codes. So what does that mean? Well, guys, listen, that if they can deactivate them, maybe they can activate them, maybe they can even launch them. This is the seeds that they're planting in people's head without quite saying it, just the manipulation of word and the manipulation of applied neuroscience. They know how frequencies operate in the human consciousness. So now when they come to say, hey, we need to divert X amount of trillions of dollars to this Space Force to develop space weaponry and to defend this planet against a threat, everyone's going to be all aboard. Hey, let's go. Let's do it. Before, they were taking money and they were doing it illegally. They were transferring trillions of dollars illegally into black budget spending and then having no accountability, and nobody knew where the money went. Oliver North is testifying before Congress. Hey, I don't know where the money went. We're going to have to do some kind of computing thing. Our computers aren't working properly. We couldn't work with your system, he told Cynthia McKinney one time. But now all of a sudden it's okay. Look, here's where the money went. We put it right over here because we're developing this stuff. Then you give the contracts to private corporations. Now, the people who sign off on these private corps to get these contracts, they're also on the board of directors, or they have family members on the board of directors of these private corporations. So what's happening is they're taking it out of government to private. Why? Because now there's no FOIA, no Freedom of Information Act is going to be requested. You can't request Freedom of Information Act on a private corp. So now these private corp get trillion-dollar contracts to build and develop space technologies that the rest of the world will never see, never know of. We won't even know they exist. We'll just know where the money went, and that's the end of that. They'll take big payouts. A lot of these projects will never see the light of day. Most of them will be projects that are born to fail from the beginning. So they'll take a contract. We're going to develop this device or this aerospace tech, and then we'll need $5 billion to start. 2 years later, well, we needed another $6 to $7 billion. It didn't quite work right. Another 5, 6 more years later, send us another $8 billion. We almost got it now. And then another 10 years, maybe a few more billion, and we're going to scratch this. It's not going to work. But everybody got the payouts along the way. People got big salaries. Big, CEOs and C-suite executives took home big umbrella payments. And now let's move on to the next project that we're never going to put out. And so this is the kind of cycle. But doing it this way through controlling the UAP narrative allows them to siphon trillions of dollars into these private black budget projects that are operating with complete no congressional oversight.
I've not heard that before, but it makes perfect sense. And I've been wondering why this is starting to see the light of day more and more. But the fact that, just to break it down simple, everything that you just said, basically what you're saying is the only reason this is happening is so that they can legalize the black budgets.
That's it. Pretty much. That is it.
Do you think there's going to be any, it does sound like that they are at least at the congressional hearing, it sounds like they want more oversight over companies like Raytheon, Skunk Works, Boeing, Northrop Grumman, these type of the military industrial complex companies.
Yeah.
Do you think that they will achieve any type of oversight? I mean, I've been, Tim Burchett is on top of it. Anna Paulina Luna seems to be on top of it.
Yeah.
And it's the only, I went to that hearing, and it's the only hearing that I've, in recent times, where you saw the right and the left come together, and it was actually kind of nice. It was very nice to see.
Absolutely.
Do you think that they'll have any success?
I think we have to keep putting pressure. I think that success won't be instantaneous, but I do think that with enough pressure, we can begin to see some progress, and also some parameters being set as to what they can and can't get away with. And it's going to take some infiltration, some people working from the inside out. In other words, people from the inside of government and key positions of power that say, enough is enough. We're going to change this. People who aren't willing to take the payoffs. People who aren't scared of these private corporations threatening them or their families, because that's what happens from time to time, which keeps the whole ball rolling for these corps. So it's going to take some really brave people in positions of power to stop this and actually allow this open book situation to happen.
Man, just that conversation right there. I know this is going to be an awesome interview.